Well, this is my scenario on day 2, 12 o'clock. I see what I think I'm looking for, but the problem is it's 1, 2, 3, it's 4 trains that way. So I would have to cross over 4 trains to get to the one that I think might be the right train. And the reason I think it might be right is I see it's loaded with lumber. And I'm guessing that the lumber's coming from up north and heading east. Maybe coming down from Canada or Northern California, whatever, Washington, all that. The lumber should be heading east. But that big yellow train sits there like the Berlin Wall. There's a lot of things working against you to try to do this freight train hop, but I'm really finding out. And a lot of these elements were left out when I read the books. They've taken away most of the hiding places that you could actually honker in a train and hide out so you could get through a yard without the bull spotting you. But now they've got these yards lit up like birthday cakes. It seems like there's about 500% more bulls. You got them just everywhere, walking, driving trucks, driving little 3-wheel quads, whatever. They're all over the place, 24/7. And I would have to get my pack over those 3 trains. You don't want to go in between a train ever, so you want to be able to climb over. Reason being that those big monstrous trains, they look so dead and still, but they can actually lurch 2 to 3 feet when they get punched by a big locomotive and they're hooking up to something. So it can be sitting there just like that still, and all of a sudden, boom, it'll jump on you. And a lot of people get taken out that way. I don't want to be one of them. I want to play it safe. I want to keep our movie going. And so my situation is basically sit right here and hope the train I'm looking for is going to come a little closer to this fence and the secret hole I got here, and make it a little bit easier, because it ain't going to be easy to find a hiding spot that's going to get me through that yard. Well, I'm here at the spot that the superhero brought me to last night, hanging out now. It's a nice little spot. And what's really cool is this little trap door that somebody before me got all set up. It's got a little hook right here. You pop that and this thing opens up, and it's big enough to get through with a pack. But you put it back up so that the train guys don't see it, because they'll come along and fix it. And the other really cool thing was I had to take my morning constitution. And really interesting, I was reading one of my books, and it said, you know, if you got to take a shit when you're on the train, you always shit on a piece of cardboard and heave it out the door. Because basically this is a really small spot with these bushes to hide in. It's an ideal spot to kind of jump on the train. Last thing I want to do is take a shit and leave it for the next guy that's going to come along. So I used that information that I thought was very unimportant in the book when I read it, and found a nice little old sandbag and used that to do my business on, and wrapped it up in a little bundle and heaved it on down the line. So just thought I'd better let you know. Well, I survived the night. It was an adventure is what it was. I ended up having to bail off the train, ended up out there in the middle of the yard. Thank goodness there was a big ditch right there, and I dove down in that ditch. There were people walking around. Ended up staying in the ditch and working my way back out of the yard, and had to walk back about 4 miles from where the train had taken me, and the train had taken off back towards LA, so that's why I leaped off it. Then the craziest thing happened. This masked crusader showed up out of nowhere with a red helmet and a big jumpsuit, and he looked to be like in his late 60s or something. The guy wanted to know what I was up to, and I told him, and he led me to a secret spot that he said would be the best place. And it was weird, man. I mean, full-on masked crusader, you know, coming to my rescue. So that was pretty cool. Then this morning I woke up and found out that my gizmo, which is my little tracker I had in my backpack, had fallen out during all the throwing and breaking. All my gear got broke up last night as I had to throw it off the train, and my water broke and everything busted up. Backpack ripped apart. tied it back together with ropes. But I tracked my gizmo down and I found it now, and it's over on the other side of this fence, and I'm gonna try to reach it with this stick out there and try to recover it. I can't believe that I tracked it down, and I'm gonna get that gizmo back, get it back in my backpack, and get this train hopping adventure back on course.